Welcome to another edition of the Dementia Care Partner Talk Show. Now, here's dementia care expert Teepa and your host, Greg Phelps.
Hello and welcome to the Dementia Care Partners podcast, brought to you by Positive Approach to Care. I'm your host, Greg Phelps, along with Teepa. And Teepa, we're still doing cleanup because we have literally hundreds of questions that get sent in, which is nice. It means that people are aware and wanting to learn. So this one starts out with grieving the loss of loved ones as they progress through dementia. What are the usual stages of dementia? Like where do people grieve?
Oh, see, it's interesting. I thought you were going to ask me what's the usual process of grieving. Okay, so what's the usual state or stages? So this is interesting because the general view is you go through stages. And what we at PAC recognize is, and what I know, is that people go in and out of states of awareness and ability. And we call them gem states. And we call them gem states because I can be clear and sharp and really on target. And then later that same day, I get foggy and I don't know how I got here and I want to go home, and I know I've got dinner to cook and I can't find my car, even though the car I drove here is sitting in the driveway. It's not the one I'm looking for. And then later that evening, I'm back to like, well, why aren't we playing Scrabble? And it's like, well, you said you didn't want to play Scrabble. Well, of course I love to play Scrabble. Well, that's not what you said 15 minutes ago. I mean, so this whole thing about I come and I go, I'm present and I'm absent. One of the things I know is that if you're busy grieving my losses, you're missing what I'm currently doing. And so one of the hardest things to ask people is, I know you need to grieve that I'm changing, but if I'm not grieving, it's not helpful for me for you to be grieving me when I'm right here and I'm still present and I'm different. It would be more helpful if you figured out how I'm different, how I'm the same, and what kind of support I need. So this thing about a typical progression pattern, I think it's fake. I've never seen somebody just go level 1 down to level 2. Now they're level 3. Now you've got level 4. Just consistently going on down that hill. I don't see it. I see people coming and going and flexing, and it depends on who's around and what's going on.
Well, speaking of that, it's an interesting next question, which was the follow-up. How to discuss your loved one's dementia with relatives and friends, because some virtually disappear. Others become, what do you call them? They're just there all the time in your space, in your face.
Yeah. So we have other people who want to be involved or have abdicated being involved. And so how do we talk about what's happening for the person living with dementia and for ourselves? How do we talk about what's going on here? So one of the things I usually start with is tell me what you're noticing. What have you noticed? Because I need to figure out for that that relative, what are they noticing? What are they picking up? So you've been spending some time with Teepa. What did you notice? And so, what are they picking up on? And what they say will give me some information about how they're feeling. Like, are they grieving her loss? And they're there, but they're there in a way that's going to aggravate or offer a lot of sympathy. And, frankly, Teepa's not a big sympathy friend. I mean, it's like, yeah, either you figure it, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry that you're sorry. This is sorry. This whole situation is sorry. Well, just get on out. Leave me alone. Because my reaction to a lot of, oh, Teepa, are you doing okay? I'm fine. If I'm fine. And if I'm having a hard time finding stuff, well, don't worry. Don't tell me not to worry if I tell you I'm having a hard time finding stuff. That's not helpful. Quit whining. Never mind. Get out. I'll look for it myself. So, I think knowing about your person is one thing, but helping relatives who want to help, figuring out where they are first. I mean, it's hard to put them in a good space to do something until you know who they are and what they got to offer. So, like, Greg, if you were going to visit me and you were a relative, what do you know about me that would make it more pleasurable for you to be with me, whether I have dementia or not? What could you do?
Well, I probably people would pay me not to, but I know that you do like to sing. And, and I do know you're very rhythmic. So, I start out with some base of knowledge. I know that at present you enjoy photos and casual discussion.
Oh, yeah.
Will that be the same when I visit you? I have to be prepared to switch, apparently.
Yeah, but if you brought a few pictures, because I've always commented every time we've gotten together in any way, shape, or form, I'll go, "Ooh, now where'd you take that one?" That's always been a curiosity. So if I'm curious about pictures, bring a few that you've maybe showed me before even, and come with a few songs, because you're pretty aware I'll sing just about anything, and I enjoy singing and I enjoy music. So come with a couple of things that will tend to stand in good stead, even if my dementia progresses and I am in a different place, because music and visual cues tend to be, and you picked two good ones, frankly.
Now, this next part of this question set that we have is one that when I read it originally, I cringed a bit, because it was somebody asking how to reframe for those who inquire about my loved one with dementia as if she was dead. And that actually made me, because I think I've witnessed it.
Yeah. I mean, like, how is she doing? It's like, well, she's right here. Maybe we should ask. I mean, it's sort of like they're present, but not present. It's sort of like she's in the casket. It's like, no, she's right there sitting in the chair. And it does feel really uncomfortable, because it feels like you're talking about me when the person, I'm here. So why are you acting like that? And so, I mean, frankly, some people will say, well, I don't know, ask her, how you doing, Teepa? Just turn and say, well, how you doing? And it's like, well, I'm okay. What's she asking about? Well, she wants to know if you're okay. Well, I'm fine. How are you? That idea of bringing me into the conversation rather than allowing that to continue. So you're wanting to know how Teepa's doing. Well, let's ask. Teepa, how's it going? Here, here, or here. So I gave a thumbs up, a thumbs neutral, or a thumbs down. And it's like, well, I think I'm okay. How do you think I'm doing? And so in that moment, we're a triad. You're not allowed to treat me as though I'm not able to be part of this. And even if it's this time, let's see, I'll say, well, how's she doing? And Greg, I'm with you. So go ahead and say what we were talking about. So I said, how's she doing?
How's she doing? Yeah. So it's so.
So Greg's not going to take the bait. He's not going to say so.
Well, I was looking at my watch.
How are you doing? I know he's looking at the watch, and I'm trying to get him to go deeper, and he's ready to move on. See, this is the thing. Sometimes we have to figure out where we're going with this. So go ahead, Greg, lead me on.
So another one that this person was asking was the anger that sometimes goes with dementia. I didn't know whether that was from the person with the dementia or whether that was with the care partners. They didn't specify, because they're separate subjects. They're the same but different.
I mean, really and truly, if we don't ever get angry, I don't know who we are, because I think we might be fooling ourselves if this condition doesn't anger us every now and then. If I've just done something and then someone else undoes it, I mean, I'm sorry, that's either frustrating or, oh, what in the world? How did this happen? And that feeling that I get, it's real. It's just like, what the heck? That wasn't what I thought was going to happen, or I wouldn't have left it like that. But it's also the possibility, get your hands off me. I can do this. And the frustrating part is, I can't do this, but what you have to listen to is my message of, I don't want your help right now. And my rejection is sort of painful, because you see that I need help. But in that moment, if you keep pushing, it'll go from irritated to full out angry to potentially raging, because I don't feel like you're listening to me. And that is probably the most risky thing we can do, is not listen to one another when we're expressing emotions.
You have some sort of a scale, risky, dangerous. Can you run through that for us? Because that's what people really should try and take into account.
Yeah. Is what I'm experiencing, is it annoying, and is it sort of irritable? I'm irritated by it. Is it risky? Like, it presents some element of risk either to me, to the other person, or to the situation, the environment that we're in? Or is it truly dangerous? It's dangerous to the individual, it's dangerous to me, or it's dangerous. I mean, it literally is dangerous in this setting. It puts somebody in harm's way. And unless it's dangerous, it's risky. And risky means you don't need to do something right then. You need to be aware of it and you want to consider what your options are, but you don't need to act in an emergency state because it's not an emergency. And if it's annoying, you need to acknowledge, wow, this is getting on my nerves. And this is really bothersome, or it's really bothering them. So we need to change something, but let's figure it out before we start just shifting things without thinking, because rarely will we hit the right spot if we're busy moving furniture on the Titanic.
Teepa, thank you very much, as always.
Thanks, Greg.
You've been listening to the Dementia Care Partners podcast, brought to you by Positive Approach to Care. For more information on today's program or any other information related to dementia, simply open your browser and type in teepasnow.com.
Hi, I'm Teepa Snow, and you just found our YouTube channel and watched one of our videos. I'm the owner and founder of Positive Approach to Care. Thanks for watching, and if you have a comment about, or you would, please share it with people you know. Oh, and if you haven't yet done it, consider subscribing. We'll let you know when the next new video comes out, and you might want to visit our website, www.teepasnow.com, where you'll find other resources as well. See you there.